In this session, we're going to chat a little bit about chaturanga, which, to give a little heads up, I'm pretty passionate about how it's done, how often it's done, when it's appropriate, and how we tend to do it wrong, which only causes a lot more damage through our shoulders. So to demonstrate what chaturanga is first, I will do that. Not too gladly, because quite fairly, I hate this position and this movement. So we typically start from down dog in a chaturanga. And we find this rotation where we rise up onto the balls of the feet and we shift forward into a high plank position. And you can see how my upper back flattens. My hips are at the same height as the back of my head. My fingers are spread wide. The shoulders are stacked directly above the wrist and I'm looking forward a little bit. Now on an exhale to chaturanga, this is the actual asana. The elbows hug in and you start to lower down. And you lower all the way down onto the ground. And then from there, you'll take a cobra or an up dog. However, that took a good 13 years for me to figure out how to do chaturanga correctly, as well as quite a few shoulder injuries and issues that happen along the way. So some variations of chaturanga if you choose to do it. And we'll talk about why you should choose to do it at the end of this video. When you come forward into this high plank position, if you have weak upper back, weak lower back, neck or shoulder injuries, excessive stress through the neck and shoulders and through the jaws, you should release the knees. You're not releasing the belly and dropping down and getting lazy through it. You're still getting the work through the core, keeping a strong angle from the tailbone out through the crown of the head. The belly is strong, supported, and then the elbows can draw in and you start to lower the chest. Now, keep the butt high in the air if you're a beginner with this, and that allows you more mobility through the shoulders, right? Whereas if you start to drop the hips too, you're kind of beginning to lock out in the arms. You don't have much freedom to move, which eventually means you're gonna drop here, or you're gonna do this whole thing, which happens a ridiculous amount in classes. And what's gonna happen with that type of work on your shoulders, you're really gonna fuck it. You're really gonna blow out a rotator cuff, or you're gonna pop out a rib, or you're gonna slip a vertebrae. So what chaturanga looks like from the front, hopefully. When done wrong, chaturanga looks like this. One shoulder drops lower down, and we collapse. Usually, the hips go down first, and then we drop one shoulder, and then we do this kind of like wiggle worm our way down to the floor, and then we think we've nailed the posture, when in fact we haven't done anything except proven that we're weaker on one side and started to compensate with the other side. Proper chaturanga, if you're going to begin to do it now and you're fairly new to a yoga practice, even revisit it if you're not fairly new to a yoga practice. Knees to the floor in a high plank. Hug the elbows in, lower the chest first, keep the butt really high in the air, and then you can slither out. So I'll demonstrate what that would look like. And with that lowering of the chest and the butt high, you can start to build this rotation that happens in the shoulders in chaturanga. Now to talk about why to do chaturanga. It's great for upper body strength. It can be great for forward and back rotation of the shoulders when you go from chaturanga to cobra or to up dog. However, if you're over the age of 25, if you've ever experienced a severe shoulder injury, chest injury, neck injury, or tend to hold, again, excessive tension and stress through the shoulders, jaw, the neck, low back, you shouldn't do it. You should practice holding plank instead, and then work your cobras on a different level. But don't worry so much about coming from down dog, plank, lower down, up dog, right? That is typically in these days called a vinyasa flow. But its function is just this fluid movement. And if you can't get the fluid movement of it, it's self-defeating, and there's no reason to wear and tear on your shoulder joints or on your knee joints or on your low back joints, which is just what starts to happen. And classes packed full of chaturangas where you do a chaturanga every third fucking posture, avoid them. For the sake of your body, avoid them. Or start asking your teacher why they're putting so many fucking chaturangas in place and what the purpose and the function is and how it's going to benefit your body. And do that with a lot of things in your yoga practice. Question your teacher. If they can't give you the answer, if they never come back to you with an answer, gives you an idea of how educated they are in the body. Plus, you're going to be helping them kind of spur their education along and recognize that these are things that they should be knowing. So stay away from chaturangas, or if you must do them, please do them very, very carefully. Namaste.